Esquire puts the law in your hands. Miss Esquire puts the law in your hands.
Good afternoon, Chicago. It's 3 p.m. and you're listening to the Miss Esquire radio show on Urban Broadcast Media. My name is Liz Murray. I'm your host and a practicing attorney. Are you ready for another entertaining, educational, and inspiring show? Today is all about entrepreneurship, specifically mompreneurship. We'll explain what that means in a moment. Attorney Shara D.H. Kamal is back to help budding business owners finally start their own business. Before we welcome our guests, we need to thank our sponsor, the Duranian Law Group. This Chicago-based real estate law firm assists residential and commercial sellers and buyers from contract to closing with no upfront payments. Thank you for your continued support of the show. Today's guest first joined us in March when she explained real estate investment through tax sales. Now we're focusing on the legal questions to ask when starting a small business. In case you forgot, Attorney Kamal is a graduate of the John Marshall Law School. She specializes in real estate law, but also practices in the area of business formation and asset protection. Welcome back to the show, Shara.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me on again.
Oh, thank you for agreeing to come on. And I know because of this weather, I know your plan was to be right here in the studio with me. So for all of those who are listening in here at UBM or Miss Esquire, we wish you were here, but the rain stopped you. I mean, it stopped most of us, right?
I know, but as a mommy, I still had to do my mommy duties this morning.
Exactly, and that's why we're talking about mompreneurship, because we have to learn how to balance everything in addition to doing our job. But the great thing is you're able to be on the radio and do your job and still serve as mommy at home.
That's right. That's what it's all for, right?
Yes. So when most people think of starting a business, they think of the business plan, location, or having enough startup money. What a lot of people fail to address is many of the other important legal questions that need to be answered. That's why we're here having this show. We're going to answer some of the most common legal questions when starting a business. In case people don't know, what does the phrase mompreneur mean?
Well, I guess it encompasses a whole lot because we have multi-tasking superpowers, I'd like to say. But we have like a single mission and a single focus that I think we all share as moms.
Yes.
We do it for our babies, for our kids. I know that I have two babies now. I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I've found that my focus has shifted completely. Before it was, about me, of course, and taking care of my husband, which was just that was my family, about it. And now I have the 2 little ones, and things have changed. Everything that I do now, I find that it's primarily for them. And it's a great feeling because it feels like I'm serving for a much greater purpose now, certainly toward a long-lasting legacy that will go on after I'm gone. And so it's a nice feeling, and at the end of the day, I can have a peace of mind that all of my work is safe, and the people that I serve, that it is for a greater purpose. It's certainly for the client, but it's for something much bigger than that.
Right. And some people can do it from home, and other people have offices. Just a quick, because we had talked to you in March, but do you do your business from home, or do you have an office?
I can't imagine working from home.
Okay.
Work from home. I have actually 2 offices, one in Burbridge.
Okay.
Here, I live in the Burbridge area, and then I have an office in Hyde Park as well. My oldest son is in school in Hyde Park, so I decided about a year before he started that I would have a footing in that area so that I could be close to school, do the mommy pick up and drop off, and still be able to service clients. And it's worked out well because the majority of my clients are actually in the city. Hyde Park is close to the downtown area, so it's worked out.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I guess that's the first thing I guess we need to discuss. I mean, because here, some moms may do it at home, but others, it's kind of hard to juggle it at home because you get distracted by what needs to be done at home. So when a person is first saying, okay, I want to be a mompreneur, I actually want to be able to juggle being a parent in addition to, being a parent in addition to creating this legacy, creating this business in order that my children may have a better future, better opportunities. So what is the first thing they should look at? Should they look at first, let me see where I'm going to have my business space, or should they do something a little bit different, like, okay, let me start the business first, get the name, etc.?
Well, I think it takes taking a long, hard look at where you'd like to be in the future and setting your priorities based on what that vision looks like. So I can't even imagine now my life without children.
Okay.
But I know that before I would be in front of the computer, before children, I was in front of the computer 24/7 almost, what it seemed like.
Right.
Always on my device, always, responding to phone calls, always doing something related to the business. And that's what it takes, really, as an entrepreneur, is to always be engaged in some shape, form, or fashion, and connected to your business, your clients, networking, all of that. It's what it takes really to grow and develop a business. But when you become a parent, you really need to figure out and find that healthy balance that's going to allow you time with your family, your kids, such that you give them what they need
Right.
well. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, and I just remember my mom in particular being a workaholic, and I knew that while everything that she was doing was, for the betterment of our family,
Yes.
I would wish that I had more time to spend with her. So I know now, as a parent, although I work super duper hard, I also spend and I prioritize such that it's extremely important that my kids get that time that I know that they need, because you don't get it back. They grow up so fast.
Yes, they do. Yes, they
You really
do.
need to set aside the time. And I said, before my oldest started preschool, that on Fridays, I'm off. If I don't have a closing, I'm off. I'm, spending the time with them. Now that he's in school, I've kind of rejuggled it, and Fridays are a work day now.
Okay.
And the baby is with the nanny, but I've decided still that, certain hours, and I've cut my day shorter.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not able to cover a closing, I have other attorneys that are of counsel, that support me when I need coverage. At a certain time of the day, the devices get shut off.
Okay.
You have to plan your life that way. And it starts when you're doing that business planning. You have
Okay.
to prioritize and decide what you want your life to look like. If you want that $2 million in revenue, you may have to sacrifice the time with your family.
Right.
If family is more important and you're comfortable with a $200,000 in revenue, well, then things look a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to be honest with yourself about what it is that you like your life to look like, what's most important to you, and what you need to do, give, sacrifice in order to make that a reality.
Okay, so the first part is you should do the business plan and prioritize, you were saying, everything, and see what you're trying to accomplish and how you're going to be able to accomplish it with the balance of being able to spend time with your family. So some people may have to shift their schedule. They may have to work in the day a little bit, spend time with the family maybe in the evenings, or in the afternoons or in the morning, and then do a lot of work at night when everyone's resting.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's just making your plan that works for you and your family.
Right.
Okay.
If you plan such that, and you communicate that to your clients, then it all works. I have, in the majority of my practice is devoted to real estate.
Okay.
So I do a lot of closings, and I found that it works out well when I can carve out, a certain hour in the day to make phone calls, in the evenings even, babies are down, they're sleeping by 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
If I know I have a client that, works during the day, well, 9 to 5 is probably not going to be a good day for me to, a good time for me to communicate with a client anyway.
Okay.
So if we plan such that our conversations happen in the evening during a certain hour, then it works. But if you're struggling to, get certain things done, in my case, handle the closing, be available for phone calls, all within that, 9 to 5, 9 to 4 time frame, you're going to stress yourself out getting that done. But if you can be flexible and creative with respect to time management, then it can all work out. But if you go into it with unrealistic expectations, it's not going to work. The business is not going to thrive.
And I see where you're talking about, like with the time management, because I mean, you're a mompreneur. I'm actually a mompreneur as well. So I see where you're talking about, being able to think of the time, like having good time management and knowing, just because you put your kids down at 8, I think it took me a long time if they go down at 8. When in fact they don't go down at 8. They're actually supposed to go to bed at 9. However, they still seem to be in my face at 9:15, compared to maybe my husband. They actually listen and follow directions and go to bed when he instructs them to do. So I think that is a very good, important point of having a plan. And when people think of the business plan, it's they think of, okay, just my business, what do I expect from the business, my business goals, my missions, and everything like that. But you're saying as a mompreneur, you have to take everything and make it and incorporate it into your business plan, or in the business planning process, and think about the schedule of your children, your spouse's schedule or significant other, if that is applicable in your household, and your schedule, your work schedule, and communicating with your client.
Well, that's right.
Okay.
Your life plan is a part of your business plan. They go together, hand in hand. Because if you're not functioning well in life, you're not going to function well in business. It carries over. If I'm stressed at home, it's difficult to turn that off when you're
Yes.
a client.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have that balance, you're not going to be able to reach your goals. And if you are, I mean, it's luck. It really is luck. So I stress, and I do a lot of business consultation with clients that are thinking about establishing a new business, whether they want to keep their job and do the business on the side, and some of these are people who have families. We talked through a multitude of different scenarios, but it definitely comes down to having a plan, a clear plan, black and white, that will serve as a foundation for future planning. So it's not going to happen immediately. You're not going to have everything all together in that plan in one fell swoop. You can't, it's not going to happen over a weekend. You really have to, think things out. You even sit down with your attorney, sit down with your accountant, sit down with your spouse for sure, even your kids, to discuss, what's going to work best for your family.
Right.
In terms of future planning and savings and retirement and health, insurance, all of that, all those costs. You want to, think about all of that when you make the decision to go into business for yourself, because there's going to be some rough times. There's definitely going to be a roller coaster that you and your family will experience, especially getting started. And then as your business is, develops and grows and expands, it's another, round of ups and downs that you're going to face. So you have to plan through that all. And then even having an exit strategy. Talking about succession planning. If you have children, passing that business along to them. Having conversations with maybe your teenagers about whether or not they even want to take over the business. Are they interested in, what you're doing?
Right.
But that you can, weave them into that business plan as well. So there's shorter term planning and certainly longer term planning that you want to engage in with trusted professionals who can give you a bird's eye view of what it is that you're looking to accomplish.
Right. And so what do you talk to, when you're talking to the people when they're doing the business consultings, are most people asking the question with respect to, should I stay in the house and work, or should I go find a space outside of the home. Because I know that when it comes to leases, sometimes these commercial leases can be, they can be lengthy, long in time. They can be 3 to 5 years. And just like you're saying, you may want, you start the planning, you have these great ideas, some things may happen and come to fruition, and when you expect them to in your goals, in your life plan, your business plan, other things may not happen so fast. So how do you discuss or consult with your clients with respect to a location?
Well, I think it depends on the type of business that you're going into. If you're in more of a consultant type practice where you don't necessarily meet with clients at your location,
Mm-hmm.
then it might work for you to work at home because then you're going to your clients for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in, let's say, a real estate broker, you might be working from another location. So, probably the brokerage office of your company. If it's your own, you have to decide and work through how are you going to handle meeting with your clients. Do you need to sit down and sign contracts or what have you? They have so many different options for co-working space now available to small business owners, such that you can come in as you like. You don't need to commit to a long-term lease agreement. You can work virtually. You can have an office address and come in when you need to use an office. So there's so many options available. I think it kind of boils down to the budget.
Okay.
What does that look like? And what you can afford to do, and even planning for a move into a more permanent space for your business. If you're in retail, you definitely need a location.
Right.
If you're selling clothing, or if you are, selling shoes or what have you, you're going to need a location. And there are different things that you want to factor into, location in terms of, foot traffic, proximity to where your customers are going to be, whether or not you can have signage, if you're in competition with other similar types of boutiques. So there's different things that you want to consider with respect to location. I think it kind of, again, boils down to the type of business.
Okay. And in your budget,
And your budget.
which determines whether you should get financing or not, right?
That's right, and it's super difficult for new businesses to secure financing. Typically, you want to have some sort of history in place or projections that will bring in the years of a potential investor. Crowdfunding is an awesome opportunity to raise funds through less conservative vehicles. So,
Right.
There are different ways to raise funds for new businesses. Now, if you're more established, you can go the conservative route. But there are a variety of ways that you can raise funds. Now, I've seen a number of different pitch events for new business owners who have new and awesome ideas, and they're venture capitalists and like I said, crowdfunding sources,
Mm-hmm.
investors that are looking to invest, and they don't have the requirements that you might have with a more conservative financier or lender. So you want to take advantage of all of those options, but make sure you have a plan in place such that when you have that opportunity in front of you, that you can present them with something that's solid and something that you can stand on.
Right. And exactly. And I would suggest to the mothers now is to take a portion of whatever you have and just start, whether it's a small amount of money, $20 or so, and put it maybe possibly to the side, or find those coins that's, you always look in your house, you find change and, those things, and maybe put it to the side.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You know what, we're gonna go for a short commercial break, and then we're gonna come back with Attorney Kamal with respect to entrepreneurship. So we'll be right back.
A Choice for Life Holistic Wellness Center has the key to helping you stay healthy, vibrant, and full of energy. They have the 5-day detox cleansers done with either fruit fruits or vegetables. If you're planning for a wedding, anniversary, engagement, or just looking to get a healthy start, the 5-day detox will flush out 5 to 20 pounds of waste out of your gut that has been sitting there and clogging you up. A Choice for Life is a specialist in colon cleansing, and their job is to help you get rid of that annoying gas, get rid of aches and pains, and be your natural self again in as little as 5 days. Pick it up from their center at 10650 Southwestern Avenue in the Chicago Beverly area. Call them at 773-239-7740. 773-239-7740.
I know. I'm supposed to answer you back, right?
I put a membership package together and everything.
Oh, yeah.
For small businesses and nonprofits.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
It'd be back up and now.
Miss Esquire puts the
So
law
I just
in
wanna,
your hands.
I wanna keep my shows that I love
Okay.
and let y'all do your thing, like, you know.
Welcome back to the Miss Esquire radio show on Urban Broadcast Media. In case you missed the beginning of the show, today's guest is attorney Shara D.H. Kamal. We're explaining the most common legal questions to answer when forming a small business. And some of them aren't necessarily legal in the sense of you need an attorney for everything, because you don't need an attorney to secure financing. You may need the attorney to consult with you like Attorney Kamal was saying, but some of those things are not the role of an attorney. Is that correct?
Sometimes you need a team, you know, you
Yes.
need a team of people with different areas of
Mm-hmm.
specialization. So let's say you are seeking financing and someone wants to give you let's say $1 million line of credit for real estate investments, and they want a stake in your business. Well, I would advise you have an attorney on your team, possibly a realtor on your team,
Mm-hmm.
an accountant on your team. But you know, the legal aspect of that is, you know, if they want to stake in your business, well, what are the terms? You know, how
Right.
much of an interest do they want in your company? What are the terms for repayment of those funds? What stake will they have in the properties that are purchased with using that money? So there's just things that you want to kind of talk through with an attorney, especially if you are having to sign any documentation that's going to relinquish, you know, equity in your business or in any collateral that might be used for those funds.
Right. But you know, I guess what I'm trying to get to is so many people feel overwhelmed. And, you know, it's like, oh, I have to have all these things in place in order to start. And we're not here to overwhelm you. We're here to say that if you're going to do it, and this is what Attorney Kamal is saying, is to do it seriously. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a whole lot of money to have all of these professionals on your team, or to consider these professionals. It's just, these are the things that you should be putting in place with respect to your business plan. Now, I want to ask you a question that I didn't get a chance to ask is, do you do the business plan? So you have the life plan, which I guess we should distinguish from the business plan. So the life plan for the mompreneur is, okay, this is my life. This is who is involved, including my children. And these are the things that I look for, my goals with respect to my household and my goals professionally or socially. And then you have the business plan, okay? That you say, this is my business, this is how the structure of my business, this is the goals of the business, this is how we're looking at the finances. So do you as the attorney do the business plan?
I do not draft business plans, but I do provide attorney opinion letters on plans that I've received. So if a client wants some counsel on a plan that they've already drafted,
Okay,
or I will refer out to Women's Business Development Center. It does an awesome job of working with not only women, but also men.
okay,
Actually, so there are a number of different organizations that provide that level of service, and I will refer out, but I do provide opinions on plans.
oh, awesome.
I can consult around, you know, a plan that's already been established, or if you're thinking about creating one, then we can talk through what that should look like, at least, you know, from a legal perspective. And, you know, and I have, you know, of course, experience being a business owner, just in how to kind of plan your business around your life and vice versa. So, you know, I'm certainly happy to share what expertise I have in that arena, or at least my experience there, but I do not prepare business plans.
Okay, but you do the structure of, because, okay, I'm the mompreneur, can I just operate? Once I think of my business, can I just operate or go from there, or I need to take those extra steps?
Structure. So once you have, you can have the written plan, of course, in place. You should also be thinking about the structure of the business from a legal standpoint. So are you gonna operate in your name? Are you going to operate in the name of an LLC or an S corporation? Those are other, two different, types of entities. If you are, let's say, investing in real estate, you might want to, think about a series LLC, which gives you some insulated, protection for each, for the different properties that you would be, acquiring. S corps are for small businesses. There's some considerations that you might want to think about around that. Or if you're, planning on potentially going public one day, you might want to opt for a C corp. So we have discussions around the plan and what structure is going to work best,
Mm-hmm.
for their business. The cost associated with that will be built into the budget. I do have a number of different accounts that I refer to discuss the tax benefits and ramifications for going with one structure over another.
Right.
I always suggest that you, of course, begin with the end in mind, because it's super difficult to switch gears and switch structures midstream. There's some costs associated with that and some tax, consequences for switching. So you want to begin with the end in mind. It may be a bit more costly, but I think you're gonna save. I know you're gonna save, in the end, when you start, start with the end in mind.
Okay, and for those people who are tuning in, we're with, just now tuning in, we're with attorney Shara Kamal, and we're talking to mompreneurs today. Okay, so now, we've established our business, because we need to protect our tax liabilities and the distribution of sensitive information. What legal agreements should be put in place when working with your team, contractors, or vendors?
Well, when you are sharing your ideas with others, you want to be extremely careful, with who, you share information with, especially if you're not already, if you don't have a registered trademark, if
Mhm.
you, don't have copyrighted material, that you're dispersing to other people. You just want to be careful. And I've had people that have, gone and put things on social media, ideas on social media, and you don't want to do that until it's the right time. There are agreements that you can have in place, such as non-disclosure agreements, confidentiality agreements, that can be a part of your business plan as you're sharing it, parts of it with other individuals. When you're sharing it with your attorney, and you're covered really under attorney-client privilege. With accountants, you want to go with someone that you trust, preferably someone who's worked with you on a personal level, and who's done your returns, personal returns, or maybe business returns with another business, but you want to work with someone that you trust there. Your financials are an extremely important part of your business planning.
Mhm.
So it's important to also to make sure that you protect that information. So the non-compete, non-disclosure, and confidentiality agreements are gonna be, the most commonly used forms, as you're sharing, documentation, relative to the formation of the business. Now, as you are engaging in partnerships, with other individuals, let's say you're in a fashion or clothing business, and you, have some people that you like to bring on board. You can't pay them just yet,
Mhm.
but they are kind of working on the strength. They, know that they're going to be paid one day.
Right, exactly.
Equity stake, but you want to have something in place, such that they know that they're not partners.
Okay.
They will be paid, when you get paid, kind of sort of thing. So there's some, there are some agreements that you can have in place with them as well, such that those independent contractors, not employees, but independent contractors for, I wouldn't say partners, I'd be careful on using that language in any agreement,
Mhm.
unless you truly want them to be a partner in your business. start dealing with them on a.
Right, doing business with them, yes.
Right, and when things go, south and not the way you planned, and you don't have an exit strategy, then that's when they change,
Right.
Personalities, are a bit difficult, and, the conflict and tension doesn't allow for a reasonable conversation at that point. So it's good to, before you get started, sit down with an attorney and possibly have each party represented by their own counsel, depending on what they're both bringing to the table. You want to have the parties just have a clean, clear look in the conversation about what the exit strategy looks like, whether this is a forever partnership or if there's a planned termination of business interests at a certain point in the business.
Okay. And so, and speaking of all of this, because you were talking about if the business tanks here, your partner, and it may not go too well, that conversation and the ending of that partnership.
Right.
What can a mompreneur do if the business grows quickly or if it tanks?
Well, refer back to that plan that hopefully you have in place to decide what happens next. So, for an example, I have a client that, this was some years ago.
Okay.
Was in the real estate investment business, purchased a ton of properties, and adjustable rates started to, kind of eat into profits, and they ended up losing a great deal of those properties because they had not properly planned.
Okay.
They weren't able to liquidate those assets before the market changed. So, in that case, you want to just consider in the beginning what happens, worst case scenario, how do I plan to protect my personal assets? Yeah, I might lose all of these investment properties, but how do I keep my home?
Right, right.
What could happen? What will happen to my credit, and how much do I need to have in savings should my credit score drop as a result of these, foreclosures or the default in loan agreements? What happens then? So the proper planning is going to make all the difference in being able to weather that storm.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't plan appropriately, then you want to talk to an attorney either way,
Mm-hmm.
but you certainly don't want to be in denial. When you see the storm coming and you don't have a plan in place, don't wait until the last minute to talk to an attorney. I will tell you, I've way too many times had conversations with people who called me right before the foreclosure sale day.
Right.
That's not the time. You should be talking to an attorney the moment you know that you're going to go into default on that loan if you can't make any more loan payments.
Yes.
Or when you get service of the complaint. You have time, but if you wait until the last minute, you kind of back yourself into a corner, and it makes it even more difficult even for competent counsel to be able to get you out of that hole. So be proactive and as best as you can. We know that life happens, and sometimes unexpected chain of events just throw you off course.
Right.
But all is not lost. If you plan properly and you have counsel, you can get back up again, and that's what you want to plan for. And you're going to have failures, but how do you get back up?
How do you get back up?
Back up.
Yeah, that's true, because even when I think of, how I started a practice, my law firm had closed, and then I had my first child, and so I was assisting other attorneys, just going court appearances here, deposition there, but not having a plan in place. So I am a mompreneur who did not have a plan in place, who did not do those things that you're telling people about. And it makes business and, your business life and your personal life that much more difficult. Setting goals, people talk about setting goals all day long, but there was no class in undergrad with respect to setting goals. How do you actually set a goal? A short-term goal versus a long-term goal. Because some people have a goal, like, okay, well, I want, like myself may say, well, I want to prepare 10 wheels throughout the month. You know, get 10 clients to do 10 wheels, for example. But that's not how I used to do it. I would just say I want to get some clients and do well for the month. You know, so it was just very general. So it becomes, and so when you hear other people who have planned, it can become very discouraging to you, the mompreneur, and you say, well, you know, I'm not doing this right. Maybe I should just let go of the business and maybe go get a job if you don't have a full-time job. And I didn't have a full-time job. I just had this. So is it possible to, even though you maybe not properly planned at the beginning, to say, okay, you know what, I see where I didn't plan, but let me go back and now take some of those steps and plan.
Yeah, you can always, even when you have a plan 5 years down the line, revisiting that plan and making changes, life happens, you come up with new ideas, you need to prepare for restructure and reorganization and change, so allow for that. Allow for the flow of life to just guide you in different
Right.
directions. But the key is having the foundation and sticking to your vision, kind of keep your eye
On the prize.
on the prize. And when things are going great, we talk a lot about when the business fails, but when things are going awesome, you also need to plan for growth. Like when got behind in the market, I had a kind of high volume closing practice, and it took a lot for me to decide, hey, I cannot do this all by myself.
Right.
I
Right.
need to bring on some staff and somebody to help me out here, because I can't service the clients to my fullest capacity if I'm trying to carry the load of, the weight of this practice. I can't do it by myself. And that is the surest way to fail, is if you don't learn to delegate and, hand off and create systems such that you can do what you do best. And I found that a lot of entrepreneurs, their ideas, businesses fail because they lose sight of their lane.
Right.
They end up doing much more than what they should be doing.
Right.
I represent a lot of creatives, and they have these creative ideas. Artists, fashion designers, and they know that well.
Right.
They don't know the law. They don't know the accounting side. They don't know marketing even. So there's so many different functions of a business that you need to have a team in place to handle. You might not be able to afford it, but there are resources.
Like you said, the small business.
Exactly. That will provide you with the support in those areas. Now, you have to, in the end, be able to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be through an equity stake. It might be through some arrangement for future payment. But you've got to plan for that. Otherwise, your growth will be your downfall. Because
Right.
you won't be able to expand in order to support the business that you've got coming in.
That's some good information. That is truly some good information. Okay, so now your business has grown, you get the help that you need. Now what happens if the business gets sued? What's the best method to respond to a complaint or lawsuit?
Well, you want to have insurance. That's where insurance comes in. Just as a professional, you can get malpractice insurance,
Mhm.
you can get business liability insurance, error and omissions insurance. All of that is in place to protect you in the event of a lawsuit. You certainly want to make sure that your personal assets are properly placed such that those assets are not open
Mhm.
for the taking in the event that someone is successfully able to sue you. Now, I've had clients that have come to me and say, well, I want to establish an entity so that I can't be sued. Well, guess what? Anyone can sue you for whatever reason they want to.
Mhm.
But the key is to make sure that you have appropriate structures in place such that even if they do attack you, that you're protected.
Right.
You're going to have to defend against it. And the key is making sure that you're able to successfully do that.
Mhm.
When you have insurance in place, then those insurance companies will typically step in and provide you with counsel for as part of your premium payment. They will offer that service. their assets, trying to defend against them, unfortunately for the complaints, but, you want to make sure before that lawsuit happens, before it's initiated, that and you can do it very quickly, move assets around. You don't want to wait again.
You don't want to wait. Yeah, because you don't want to lose the home. I mean, the purpose of you doing this is for taking care of your children. And you wouldn't want to lose the home that they live in, the car that transports them to and from school and their after school activities or weekend activities.
Exactly.
Yeah, you will want to make sure that everything that you do is not just for the protection of yourself, but the protection of your family.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to move on to the island of the misfit lawyer because we have talked a lot about being the mompreneur. So you have a very fascinating life outside of your legal practice, right? Or it's in conjunction with your legal practice, I guess. So we're going to talk about that shortly. Okay. Welcome to the Island of Misfit Lawyers. This is the upbeat, fun portion of the show where lawyers can let loose. What happens on the island stays on the island. Lawyers can talk about their side hustles or quirky interests. We have attorney Kamal still with us. Welcome to the island, Shara.
Hi.
Like, we really need an island. Like, it's cold and wet outside. And maybe have, some margaritas and other things on the island.
I love the music, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. It is meant to be upbeat. Our conversations, at the beginning, we really want our listeners who are tuning in to Miss Esquire on Urban Broadcast Media Radio, we really want them to get to the point where they see and know for themselves what they need to do in order to be successful. We're in this funky climate where there is no job stability anymore. So we're talking to all these people who have these creative minds, these wonderful business ideas to do something, to make it, to take that dream or that vision and make it and turn it into action and be able to see it come to fruition. So we thank you for that. Okay, so you have your practice where you're dealing with these clients and consulting with them on a business basis with respect to business organization, with respect to real estate. But you also have this website that's called fashionmeetslaw.com. So this is in addition to your legal practice. So you are quite the fashion enthusiast. Tell us more about your passion for fashion and when you realized how much you appreciated a good outfit and a beautiful puff like on your head. You have wonderful hairstyles. So when did all of this come together?
Well, it's interesting how life kind of brings you full circle. I've always been just enamored by fashion. My background is actually in the fashion industry. I was a modeling instructor for a number of, I don't know if you remember Barbara Zahn.
Yes.
Robert Powers. I was a modeling instructor while I was in college and in the beginning part of law school. So my background is kind of before professional education was in that area. I never was interested in designing clothing or anything, but as an attorney, we are all about designing legal strategies.
Yes.
And I figured, what better way for me to kind of weave into my practice a brand that kind of brings me back to that fashion industry and some of the common themes that and threads that kind of are incorporated into the fashion business. Well, WFML, which is the name of the firm, is where fashion meets law. And the thought behind
Cute name.
Thank you. The thought behind it is every attorney should be just as custom fit to their clients as a piece of clothing. And services should be, just as custom as clothing. The fashion industry is all about design and glamour and elegance. And we should have a way of being back to, fashion law is an umbrella for a number of different legal disciplines. So
Mhm.
the bulk of it is actually in real estate, commercial real estate, reviewing commercial lease agreements, working with business owners in establishing their entity as they're expanding, securing that space, that brick and mortar space that they're looking for. If they're interested in securing financing, then I'm reviewing those agreements. So it covers a number of different legal disciplines. It's not just fashion.
Okay.
There are a number of different disciplines that it covers. But the overarching theme is that you really should know that not every attorney is for you.
Okay.
So there's a size and fit to it. That no one solution that fits all, and that you really should take the time when seeking counsel to have a conversation with them, do some background checking, check with references, because some attorneys, they don't work well.
Right.
With people who are, have questions, have lots of questions, especially when you're a new business owner, you've got, they come with the same question a number of times.
Mhm.
You've got to have an attorney who's patient and, specializes in working with someone in that area. So it's not just fashion. I think I sent that message to you, that, it's about a lot more than that. And I wanted to find a way to have my practice be something special and something that was kind of rooted in something that I love.
Mhm.
Find different ways to weave that theme of fashion throughout the practice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, that's nice to think of the, the lawyer being a custom fit. Yeah, for your personality, for your business goals, etc. Yeah, but now, I know you have this, but you were at some, was it like New York Fashion Week?
Yes.
So do you explain this to people? I mean, do you talk to your creative artists who are in fashion about, the custom fits?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So we talk a lot, and I attended New York Fashion Week for a project that I was working on with Emerge.
Okay.
A fashion show that was put on, I think it's still in the works, but it was put on during New York Fashion Week for the purpose of promoting emerging designers. So that was an awesome way for me to connect with new designers, new business owners.
Right.
Who needed the advice of a legal professional in helping them to get out there in the market and protect, their intellectual property, but also be thinking about the business side of the creative. So, of course, being at New York Fashion Week is always a fun.
Right.
Because, it just makes it all worthwhile when you can, be fashionable and practice and handle business.
At the same time.
Exactly. That's the best way to do anything, is to be fashionable while you're doing it, to be cute while you're doing it.
And so for all those mompreneurs who are out here, is there a Chicago mompreneurs who maybe are fashion designers? Is there a Chicago Fashion Week?
Oh, absolutely.
It is?
Different. There are. There's Midwest Fashion Week, and then there is a Chicago, I think it's the Chicago Business Fashion Council. They've got a number of different resources here for new emerging designers. It's the Bridgeport Art Incubator. Macy's has a fashion incubator. I think the Art Institute, they have a fashion incubator as well. So there are a number of different resources for fashion designers here in the Chicago area. Of course, your larger markets are New York.
Right. London.
But Chicago
Yeah.
has its presence as well.
Oh, nice. So as a mompreneur yourself, networking, because apparently you're attending some of these functions and knowing, so what would you say in these last few minutes with respect to being able to manage, motherhood with networking?
That was tough. It was tough, and I had to kind of put a halt on some of that. Of course, during pregnancy and going, out at night and immediately after work, I'm, trying to get home and be with the baby.
Right.
Networking I had to put a hold on it. Actually, I'm just now to the point where I feel comfortable with leaving them.
Right.
And going out at night and, handling that networking function that really is critical to kind of staying out there in people's minds. And that's, I think, why social media is so awesome, because you can stay in people's faces without actually having to be physically present, although it's important to be face-to-face, because that's going to kind of set you apart from the person that you kind of only see on Facebook.
Right.
Or Instagram. But you do have to make some sacrifices and realize that you're gonna have some downtime, if you're pregnant, and about to, have kids. You may have to put a halt on the networking for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Weave it into your day such that maybe it's not in the evening, maybe it's during the day, during the 9 to 5 that you need to find those functions to attend. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm having to find those functions during those hours when I know my kids are in care school.
Exactly.
And one's with the nanny, so I have to find my opportunities during those times. You may not see me out at night because of that, but that's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make.
Yes, and it was a wonderful sacrifice, and I see that you're doing very well, and we thank you for being on the show. What an educational show. We hope our listeners were able to find value in all of the topics that we discussed today in order to help them form a business. Thank you to Attorney Shara D.H. Kamal for sharing your legal and fashion expertise. Now, I know you didn't give us your fashion expertise, and we'll have to find that later, get you on here later to discuss the fashion expertise, but we understand, yeah, we understand that we need to all make sure that those people we interact with are custom fit to each and every one of us, where we're engaging with them as it relates to mompreneurship. Come back anytime. A big thank you to our producer, Kelly Fox, and UBM engineer, C. Randall, for your continued support in making this show a success. As always, thank you for listening to the Miss Esquire radio show on Urban Broadcast Media. Be sure to like the show on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit the MissEsquire.net website. If you'd like to be a guest or sponsor, please leave us a note on MissEsquire.net or our Facebook page. Have fun and a safe weekend, Chicago, and definitely stay dry. Until next time.